How do they do it? Why do they do it? Riding and crashing and riding and winning and always faster and faster.
Well, welcome back everybody to With Antone MotoGP 2025. And I want to start off by thanking everybody who's been watching the recent episodes. It's been really great to engage with everyone. So this weekend, the Catalan MotoGP, round 15 of the 2025 series. And let's think of it, it's the home of stability control. I mean, when Pecco had that huge high side in 2023, was turn 2. And I think if you remember, when he actually came off the bike, unfortunately, Brad Binder actually ran over Pecco's legs there. So that's the birthplace of stability control. And while we're talking about stability control, Pol Espargaro ran stability control in Hungary and he had a high side. So apparently it's not quite refined enough and it's actually not working. 355 is a number we might want to think about this weekend at the Catalan MotoGP, because that's the size of the discs that Pecco can run on the front of the Ducati. So let's see how he goes. Anyway, we're going to talk a little bit more about the Catalan GP and its uniqueness in a moment, but I want to just look at some news and rumours that is happening. In terms of news, well, HRC have confirmed their signings. Luca Marini, 1-year deal on the HRC. So that will take him through until the change of the regulations in 27. But Zarco, they've signed him for 2 years. So he's now the first rider to be signed for the 2027 season, which is a little funny because the 5-year arrangements are not yet signed by the teams. So obviously there's the intention there of LCR. And apparently they are going to work closely with Zarco on new parts being supplied. We've seen that in the past. I really don't know what's going to happen there. And it kind of begs the question, does HRC want to win a championship in 2026? I'm not quite seeing it. Moreira's coming, yeah, but a rookie. I'm not too sure. Anyway, do they really want to win? Let's work that one out. Yamaha, still nothing official on the Yamaha Pramac seat. We're going to have to wait to hear some more on that. But one that we have heard about is VR46. Frankie Morbidelli, he's been signed for the 2026, confirmed. And I believe his salary is going to be something like €950,000. But an interesting bit came out of that press release. It seems that Ducati were not prepared to pay out the contract of Pedro Acosta. Now, it's rumoured to be €1.5 million. Now, that was the payout that they were going to have to make to get him across. But apparently Ducati said no, and Rossi didn't have the financial components to actually put that deal together. Okay, so let's have a little bit of a closer look at this weekend's Catalan MotoGP. Now, it's really one of Aprilia's strong tracks. They're actually going to be arriving with some new parts this weekend. Salvadori's back as well, doing a wild card. It's also the home race for Jorge Martin. But for Aprilia, an important weekend because it marks 10 years since the RSGP was debuted in MotoGP. So what a journey that's been. It's also the home race of two other Spanish stars, namely Marc Marquez and Alex Marquez. So we'll see how we go there. Now, I note that Alex Marquez was fastest in the 24 test there. And, you know, he's had 14 crashes this year. But I think this weekend might be his time to actually shine. As to Yamaha, well, I don't know what's going to happen with Yamaha this weekend, and Honda for that matter. It's a low grip track. Now, the track itself at Catalunya is a unique track. Now, the surface is all built by the local quarried gravel from the Dolomite Mountains. Now, this is actually quite unique, and it's the only track like this. And what it means is that the track is resistant to heat change. It heats up to a normal race temperature, but you don't get the variance in there. So once the track is hot, then it makes it difficult for the tyre to actually perform there. So it's really a quite unique track, and it's one that the Michelin guys have really been focusing on. The other thing about the Catalan MotoGP track, it's famous for crashes. We had a huge crash there. We mentioned at the start of the episode with Pecco, but the turn 2 is infamous for crashing. So because of the unique surface, as we mentioned with the Dolomite gravel, the Michelin guys are turning up with a special asymmetrical tyre. So the asymmetrical tyre will be one step harder on the right-hand side than it is on the left-hand side. They're looking about trying to run a hard front tyre and then a choice between on the rear, the soft and the medium. I always like to look at weather, and weather this weekend, it's going to be between 24 to 26, 28 degrees, getting warmer on the Sunday, partly cloudy. So I think what we're going to see is a dry race, but I think we're going to see a race that depends a lot on tyres. Okay, so let's talk about a little bit of past performances at the Catalan GP circuit. 23, it was a bit of an Aprilia affair. Alex Espargaro won the Grand Prix from Vinales on the Aprilia, from Jorge Martin on the Ducati. But last year we went to the circuit twice. You remember the traditional May date in 2024, Jorge Martin and Marc Marquez. But we went back again to the Catalan GP because of the flooding in Valencia. So the last round is famously remembered for Jorge Martin winning the title. But we saw Francis Pecco Bagnaia win the race from Marc Marquez and also Jorge Martin. So I think this weekend it sets it up for a little bit of a classic GP. Will Marc Marquez win again? Look, you'd be a brave man to back against him, but I think this is the return of Alex Marquez this weekend. I think Alex is a great show to actually win the race. I think Marc Marquez will be up there, and I really think it's Aprilia's time to shine. They do well at the track. It's their 10th anniversary. It's their local track, and I wouldn't be surprised to see Jorge Martin put it on the box. Anyway, thanks for watching this week. If you've enjoyed it, then please give us a thumbs up. But if you've got any questions or comments, then drop them below. More than happy to actually answer those. And let's look forward to a great weekend of racing. Okay, bye for now.